myself and Nicole here are on our way over to the farm. It's literally where we left off in the last video, and we are going to now go and get our heifers, because today I have some help in at home, and we also have our girls helping me. They're home from school obviously, so now is the time to do it. It'll be a few hours work getting all this done, and it does give rain for later on, but hopefully it won't. It'll make the job so much easier without having to work in the rain. Now there's a radio running in the background. I won't get a copy mark on it because it's just talking. I find a talking channel, a channel where there's less music, say, keeps boards away more than music. I think it does kind of work, so working, we'll leave it at it. I'm going to turn it off now and go in so you don't hear two voices behind the camera. Every bunch of heifers have their own unique personalities, and for some reason mine likes to head for that gate. They can see the younger calves, I suppose, on the other side of the fence in the grass, and that's probably what's doing it. So what we do now is we split them in two, or nearly in two, and we let these crowd run up the crush first. There you go. And just like that, that's the trick right there. Alright, so that's that job done, and they're all put back in. That didn't take very long. There is a bit of white dust there, if you can see on the ground. A bit there, and a few drops the whole way into the shed. Let you guess who spat it out. I'll give you a little clue. She's got red hair. Alright, so phase 2 there is done. We're just putting that barrier over there out of the way for a minute. We don't need it as of yet. So I just finished having a cup of coffee and I'm waiting for Nicole to come up here. Nicole isn't in great humour today, and I was wondering, I was asking Mum what was up with her. Apparently, Mum and her had a few little run-ins this morning in the kitchen before she came up. So I'm going to do what all dads do and try to neutralise the situation. Slip in a few dad jokes. Alright. I have a soft front wheel. Very soft front wheel. It's only soft on the bottom, soft the whole way around, we'd be in trouble. Right, Nicole, there's a 2 foot gate over there. Will you bring it over? She's smiled. We're going to get some of these heifers out. I'm not sure how many I get in that trailer. Heifers are quite big. They're as big as any of the cows at home, so I might just go with 4 for now. I don't want to hurt them. But then sometimes if you give them too much room, they can slide around more, and they kind of hold each other up when just the right amount is in. So we're going to go with 4 now. That'll mean we'll have 4 load home in it. There's 14 heifers to come home. So we're going to have to bring over that 3 foot gate that's over there. And sometime down the lane I will put a couple of hinges there and make a gate that would open across. I've said it a few times, I just never got a chance. So we're going to stick up a wee mobile gate here first. Use that instead. too short. I bloody well did. We got 5 in. Actually, technically, we got 10 in. Let you do the thinking on that one. She got it. She got that one. So it's hard to bait, not a bad joke. She's sitting over there sniggering now at the gate. And that's what it's all about. They're absolutely crap jokes, I know. But they do exactly what they're planned to do. That last one still got to you. There we go. It's a good chance as well. I like to look to see the difference between the cows and heifers, and there's not a lot of difference between them. We look at it after, we've better. That's the first batch. Let's get the rest of them home. I see something here. What is that of? Hey, where did that come out of? I don't know where that came out of. I think. Nicole, you're a legend. How did you see that? I'd been looking for a month. Bingo. Alright, so we're going to take this barrier gate off. 17 is an 18 or 19. Okay. Right. Goes in there. There we go. You had your boat? There we go. That's hot. So now we have the cattle all sorted at home. Myself and Nicole are going back over here. We're going to give the shed a quick clean, get all ready again, and then we're going to try and get our calves in. Now this time I can pretty much guarantee you they're not going to want to come out of this field. So we'll have to come up with some different kind of trickery to get them out of it, because they're tested and they've been in and out of this field a couple of times now in the last couple of days, and they're cute as hawks. They're not going to want to come out of it. The only thing that stands to our advantage is that they haven't been fed yet. They haven't got their meal yet, so they're hanging around the gate. You can just see them here in the distance. They're hanging around in the gate waiting for me to give them their meal, so that might work with us. Right, so I have the slats all cleaned. Just take down the cord completely and way down the lane. Nicole tried to go into the field there. It's pretty much one of the biggest mistakes you can make with calves, because they'll not go out for you. They'll go around you and they'll run away from you all the time. They can frustrate the devil when you just stand there and they're just looking at you and they won't want to move. Another thing we can do in a wee while is we can lift out the trots in the field, put the trots out in the lane and put some meal actually into the trots, and we can try to feed them on the lane, and that way they will come out. So you can see at the minute the half of them are out. So it's been a good 10 minutes. The coal's probably getting fed up down there, but the dominant one is out on the lane now. But she's not wanting to move from the gate, and the reason for that is as soon as she sees me move, she's going to dart back into that field. So the dominant one didn't come out of the field. The rest of them are all running down the lane now to Nicole, and she's going to go down the far side of the hedge, staying in the field. So proper whelp, as we call, but you can see her there now. Sucks. So I'm going to put a reel across here, and she's going to come back up with the calves, and when she gets to the reel she can go no further, and we'll funnel her out of the field. So we have a kind of a net put up, and Nicole is bringing the calves up the lane now. I'm going to stand here on the gate and I'm going to direct them on up, and this hopefully, I've got a name, I better not say it, will come up along and run out after them. Calves have got a little bit of a cough back in them. Not too worried about it, but it's there. I know it's there, so. It's just funny our weather on cattle. Warm, then cold, then warm, then cold. Come on. You put them on there, Nicole, and this will hopefully follow you. She doesn't want to follow. She wants to dart a different direction completely. And the field is soaking wet, and I don't fancy running around in that. So go on. Get out. Get out. Go on. There you go. That's it. And you might think she didn't know what the gate was and didn't know wrong from right. She knew exactly what she was doing. She still does. So we just had to outsmart her. Go on. On up. On up. Every animal in the farm is now inside. So we get the yard clean. That kind of brings an end to the whole TB testing and the whole kind of work. Well, we've still a right bit of work to do, but the bulk of our work on our cattle is done. I have to get the calves in about a week, 10 days time, and clip their backs, clip their tails, and dose them too. But there's not a big rush on that. At least now there's no animals in the fields anymore. I'll go around probably in the next couple of days and gather all electric fences, all pegs, everything that I can find that needs to be collected in the field and get them out of it, because come springtime you can forget where stuff is and it can fall on the ground, grass can grow over it, and next thing is goes through a mower, which has never happened here. There's a different end to today's video, an end that no son wants to put on any video, but I'm not going to talk in sorrow. I've took my time and kind of picked what I think is the right moment to do this. I know there's a lot of young people watching this, and people also who have went through this, and it's probably going to bring back a lot of memories for people. So a lot of people knew on the channel my dad was in and out of hospital and hadn't been that well for the past year, I suppose. But my dad did get home from hospital and was home for at least a couple of weeks, and as of Monday, the 2nd of December, Dad passed away. Now luckily Dad passed away at home where he wanted to be, surrounded by us all, and that is what he wanted, and that's what we wanted, and it was very, very peaceful. We couldn't have asked for, well, in the circumstances we couldn't have asked, or he couldn't have wished for anything better, and that's something we will always treasure. It's incredibly difficult for me to talk about this, but it has been an exceptionally tough time for our family, for all of our family, and there's nothing anyone can do to make you feel really any better. When you're the person at home working on a farm and spent your over half your life working with the same person and seeing them every day, whether they annoy you, whether they take the mick out of you, whether they laugh at you, whether they support you, it makes no difference. It's just the fact that they were there, and that is something I'm going to have to learn to live with now. And but having said that, I never use the word the end of something or death. I don't use it because it's not. When you're friends with someone for as long as me and Dad have been friends, for instance, you never lose that friendship. That never disappears, and it's here, and it's here, and I see him everywhere I look, and I know that he will be right beside me, guiding me along whatever we choose to do in the years to come, and that is what brings me comfort. And it's different for everybody, but that does bring me comfort, and I know that he's beside me. We're very lucky to have such a good dad. Everything you watch me doing here on the farm, the family that I raise, all comes down to both my parents, and none of this would be possible without them. We wouldn't exist without them, and to say I'm grateful of that would be an underestimation, because there's no word can describe how important that is to me. It also brought me to the realization that the videos that we make, and not just on YouTube, but YouTube, yes, because we show all we do as a family, but one day my own kids will have something to look back on, and my dad's in a lot of my own videos here, and I've looked back at them, and that's brought me a lot of comfort having them here that I can keep with me at all times. Just advice, I think a lot of people understand, and for some people it's very painful to have to look back on those things. And I know my own wife, good wife Sinead, lost her dad during COVID, during full lockdown, and it was also very sudden and got no time to say her goodbyes, and her dad meant an awful lot to her. And I know for her it's more painful, that, and for a lot of people it's the same, and that's why I know we were very, very lucky to get what we did. Very lucky, and a lot of people don't get that. So we're not going to put our heads down in the mud. We're going to get up and we're going to keep going forward, because that's what Dad would have wanted me to do. Eventually I will make a few videos on Dad's kind of how he run the farm and the way he done things different than what we're doing now. But we won't do it in sorrow. We had a great man in our lives, and we still have a great man in our lives, and that's what will drive me forward from now on. My own parents had to go through this. I have to go through this. My kids will have to go through this. Everybody one day will have to go through this. So I remember when we got our YouTube buttony thing. That YouTube button sits in a box that it came in underneath the seat. I've never put it up. It didn't mean anything to me. Well, it did, but it didn't, if you get me. I'm very grateful for everybody who watched my videos, but to be able to show it to my parents, that's all that mattered. And once I had that done, that's the first place I went. I kind of just put it underneath the seat in the living room, and my wife something said, will you not take it out? And I don't know why, I just can't just describe fully the understanding behind that, but I will put it up. I'll put it up in our home house. My mother's there, and I have to take care of her now because they've been together for 60 years, and that's a long time. So the main drive I'm going to have now for my channel is to honour my father, and both my parents for that matter. And he doesn't have to sit down and watch the videos no more, because he's behind me, hopefully, while I'm making them. So he'll always be included in everything we're doing, and he'll be mentioned regular, and that's part of every family farm. His legacy will live on through us now. So there's a few people I want to thank really, really quickly. There's so many people. I want to thank all my neighbours, all the people who come up and help with Marshall on the roads, and everybody was so helpful. It poured rain that particular night, and the weather was atrocious, completely with wind and everything, and them boys just stood out all evening and helped us when Dad's wake was happening. We also want to thank the bus drivers. We want to thank the people who came to the house and helped out with cooking food and making cups of tea. All the people who called. Can't believe the amount of people that called. It just was non-stop, and Dad would have been super pleased with that, and we were as well, because those things definitely do help. Hearing stories, I learned a lot of stuff about my father that I never knew. Kind things that he'd done for people just made me more proud of him. I also thank a good mate of mine, Jerry, the man that has his Ford 4000. Jerry went off and got a set of lights for us to light up our laneways and things, just a generator and a light. And he had to do a lot of driving to go and get it and set the whole thing up for us and all. And I also want to thank Mon and Hire, because I rung today to settle up the bill and they wouldn't take anything for it. So Kieran Duffy, Mon and Hire, thanks so much for that. And that's all I can say. I also want to thank our followers across all platforms. The messages that I got, I read a lot of them. I sit at night and I read them. I know you're hungry, wait. But I do go to visit Dad in his resting place, which, by the way, Dad's resting place is just over here. Literally only 2 minutes drive on the quad from the house. If I go up onto our top hill here, our high hills above us, I'm looking directly at where he rests, and he's looking directly at the farm. So that brings a lot of comfort. There's a family who are responsible for us getting that position. A very, very nice thing to do. Again, this is what I say, the kindness of people. I don't think they want their names mentioned, but they know who they are. And I am forever, as a family, we are forever grateful for that. I do go and visit Dad to fill him in on what's happening. I do read some of the comments to him, and I do read the stories and understand we're not alone on this, and it's something that everybody goes through and has been through or will go through, and I have full respect for that. It definitely have helped us, so huge thanks to all of you guys for sticking by us. I want to thank our undertakers, our good man Patrick, a friend of mine, who done the music for me just as soon as I asked, and beautiful it was. I know for sure I'm going to forget people's names because there's just so many, and if I have left you out, we are grateful. We will keep our videos humorous, always humorous, because that comes from my father. No matter how deep the conversations would be in our house, no matter what would happen or what circumstances, he would always crack a joke in the middle of it and make us all laugh, and that is what life should be all about. And I will continue to do that regardless of how I feel. I will always throw in the bit of humour and just keep soldiering forward. I look at the pit here. It has to be opened because I'm running out of bales. I have used way too many bales. Just didn't get around to opening it, but I will open it now this week, and hopefully it should be alright. I don't see the main softness that we'd normally see here. We did put the covers over the walls this time, so it'll be interesting to see what that has done. I think it's going to be alright. I've just got a suspicion by looking at it, there's no soft spots. Yeah, I think it'll be alright. Now, I have an issue with my tractor. I was trying to fix the job on the tractor and I ended up making it twice as bad. I broke something else while I was trying to fix something. I didn't even fix the problem that I went to in the beginning, but that is something we'll take up on the next time. So I'm going to start rooting at that now. Thanks very much for watching. I'll ask you today, maybe you can comment if you please, but perhaps maybe just light a candle in the comment section. You can use a little emoji thing and put a little candle instead. And it's not just for my dad, but for all the parents out there, people have lost their parents, or anyone for that matter you've lost. Just light a candle in the comment section, and I think that'd be the nicest thing of all. Thanks for watching. See you next one.